can tell from Glenn and Matthew, they both do look alike. They do have the same haircuts. They do get haircuts every month, every week. I know that. They do have the same good looks, though. They both wear sunglasses outside. They both like fast food. I know that. They both like junk food. They both are kind of handsome and sexy. I know that. Well, about that, Matthew is smart. He has brains. He has tight muscles more than Glenn does. Well, Matthew does a lot of exercises, but Glenn doesn't do any of that kind of stuff. Glenn is too lazy. He's hard-headed. He doesn't listen. He wants to be slick. He does get in trouble more than Matthew does. That's true. Matthew doesn't get in trouble mostly than Glenn. That's true. But he wants to be a gangster. He likes to do all kinds of foul language, but Matthew doesn't do that. Matthew doesn't do all that kind of stuff. But Glenn has issues. Matthew doesn't. Matthew doesn't have issues. Only with me, yes. Because of our relationship. But Glenn has issues. He likes to argue with Maddie way too much and yells at Maddie. You know, he shouldn't be doing that. Glenn likes to talk back to her too much. You know, that's his mother. He should not talk back to his mother. I never see Denise do that. She's a middle child in the Johnson family. I know she is. She was born in 1971. I know. Well, at least Denise is smart. She's pretty good at managing her own behavior. I know she's good at that too. She knows what's right and what's wrong. She knows how to follow the rules on Facebook. She's pretty good at when it comes to the Facebook stuff. She knows how to follow the rules, but Matthew doesn't know how to. But Glenn does have a smart mouth. About Angelo. He gets overexcited. He likes to be loud. He is a loud mouth. He likes to bother people when people are trying to take their nap. I know. And I remember when Maddie told him to hush up and be quiet when she's trying to take naps. That was good what Maddie said to Angelo. Because she's a grandmother. That's her job to tell him that. That's right. I bet my mother does that with my nieces too. But she's a grandmother too. I even tell my nieces that when I'm trying to sleep too. Same thing. That's what I'm telling my father. When you take naps, go upstairs to take naps, not on the couch in the living room. I don't have to make sure he does that. That's not good for his back by sleeping like that on the couch. It's how it hurts your back. That's how you restrain your back by sleeping like that. Can't do that. Especially on the couch. If he wants to take naps, then go upstairs. He should. If he wants his TV loud or watch the sports, watch it upstairs. Watch it upstairs, not downstairs. So I can have to hear all his junk. Just like Matthew eats all the food in the refrigerator. I know he does all that stuff too. Having Maddie go into his room, going to his underwear drawer. That is embarrassing. She shouldn't be touching. Maddie should not be touching on people's underwear. She should worry about her own underwear. Yeah, but telling Matthew about that on FaceTime. You're not supposed to say out loud in front of me, especially on FaceTime. I don't want to hear all that, but talking about his underwear. Yeah, she's telling me not to do naked pictures. Why can't Matthew do all that stuff? She's the one going to her. She's the one going to Matthew's dresser. She had no business going to his dresser. And what's she doing in his room? That's Matthew's business, not Maddie's business.